I'm Ed Stafford. I'm an ex-British Army captain and an explorer. In 2010, I became the first person ever to walk the length of the Amazon River. Now, I'm setting out on my biggest adventure yet, to try and survive on a tropical island, alone, for 60 days. I've always wanted to put my skills to the ultimate survival test. To pit myself against nature with nothing and no one to help me. I'm heading for Olarua, a remote island in the Pacific Ocean. It's about 12 hectares. It's uninhabited and has the basics for survival. That's all the info I have. I need to get to know every inch of the island so I can make the best possible life for myself. There'll be no camera crew. I'll be filming it all myself. I've got a basic medical kit, satellite phone and GPS messenger, but I won't touch them unless my life is at stake. Apart from that, I'm taking nothing. No survival tools, no clothes, no food, no water. Come on, Rain. I'll be utterly alone. No contact with the outside world unless my life depends on it. My progress will be assessed and interpreted by international survival experts.
For Ed to complete this task for 60 days without food, clothes or any tools, I very much doubt it.
I can't hide the fact that this is a massive challenge above everything that I've done today. My stomach is starting to churn. The apprehension is building and building. First time we've got up close, we've just come through the reef into the lagoon. Feels amazing to be here, I have to say. No one's ever survived 60 days on a desert island without any tools or clothing. If I make it, it will be a unique achievement. I've spent the last 9 months preparing and I've had a full medical. My 4 years in the military and 2.5 years down the Amazon stand me in good stead. But that's nothing compared to what I'll be facing on this trip.
Your resting heart rate, excellent. Good. Yeah. We've got a good rate, good rhythm, perfect ECG.
Happy days. But it's not just a physical check. The biggest challenge I face will be the solitude.
Have you felt down, depressed or hopeless?
No, not at all. Given the all clear by the doctor, I've travelled the globe learning new survival tips.
Make floor fire. Okay, good.
Lighting a fire without matches is tough, but mastering it will massively increase my chances of survival.
The smoke is coming. And then you put that in a little tinder bundle and blow on it and...
And the Aboriginal Australians have shown me some of their ancient techniques.
My hands.
I'll soon find out whether these techniques will help keep me alive on the island. But the hardest part will be the isolation.
As much as it's about preparing me physically, it's all about preparing me mentally.
I've only ever spent 3 days on my own before. Aboriginals spend months alone and walk about. So they've shown me how to focus my mind and prepare mentally.
And what creates apprehension? Because there's something that feeds that we really want to try and let go of with this mud.
60 days is a long time to be on my own. And I know isolation could make me depressed and affect my ability to think and act rationally.
Irrespective of what one might believe in, that was really nice. It felt really cleansing.
And now, for the first time, I'm face to face with Olarua.
What an island. What an amazing island.
No amount of training could have prepared me for this moment. As I get closer, the scale of what I'm about to take on hits me.
I can't quite believe I'm doing this. I think the adrenaline is just flooding through me so much that I can't quite work out whether I'm happy to be here or not. From now on, if I struggle, it's down to me. If I thrive, it's down to me. Ow. That's it. We've gone. That is a weird feeling. I am completely on my own now. That is quite a scary thought.
I need to keep calm and prioritise. Water is the most important, followed by shelter and food. Filming everything myself is an added pressure. I'll be using up to 3 cameras at a time so you can see exactly what I'm facing.
I'm up and running filming-wise. Clearly tonight, I'll sleep in very, very basic conditions, but my aim for the whole project is to evolve. I would love to become the true master of this island, you know?
By the time I leave, I want to have a system that allows me to live in comfort. Decent shelter, a balanced diet, plenty of water, and fire. But now, I just need to get by. You can survive for 3 weeks without food, but only 3 days without water. So that's my main priority.
The obvious source of water just looking around is coconuts. I need to find myself a green coconut, get into it, get the fluid out of it. And while I'm going up and down the beach, I'm also going to look for potential areas to sleep on the first night as well. There's loads and loads of coconuts, which is really good. It's the green ones that I want. The ones that are lying on the floor, that are older, the water inside it's turned very milky already. And I don't want that milky, I want coconut water.
If it's milky, I'll get diarrhea. That leads to dehydration, potentially life-threatening.
And I found quite a low coconut tree here, which I'm going to try and use. It's not green. You can see it's not long brown. Come on. There's some fluid there. That's it, yes. I can see the water. First drink on the island. Through a load of husk. Oh, that feels good. But I've got to admit there wasn't much in that. Let's find another one.
That was about 200 mils. I'll need about 3 litres a day in this heat. But at least it keeps my anxiety at bay. For now.
Afternoon tea. Excellent. And I've opened many coconuts before with a machete, but I've never smashed one open on a rock. Well, again, I got a drink, but I didn't get that much. Let's move all the kit.
Making survival plans is one thing, but the reality is a lot harder. I've only been here a couple of hours, and being alone is already hitting me hard.
I'm going through waves of panic, I completely admit. The consequences of not being able to find the immediate survival priorities are dire, you know? I have these waves of fierce panic. Stuff, get a grip. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
There's a big problem in any type of survival situation. As soon as you start panicking, you're going to make mistakes.
When you're in these situations, it's like you're sitting on the edge of a knife over a chasm. If you fall off, you're done.
Staying focused is crucial. I know that from the army. Prioritize.
Look at that. Wow. What I've just found is not only a cave, but it's raised off the ground as well. That's going to be fairly well protected. That I like. Shelter for night 1, sorted. Conquering this place is going to be a lot about little pats on the back. And that is my first little pat on the back. Well done, Ed. We have a cave. We have a cave! Excellent. Okay.
It's a great find, and easily big enough to sleep in. Good news. Staying positive is essential for survival.
I've got to remember to calm this down the whole time. This is where panic comes in, this is where worries come in, anxiety comes in. I've got the capabilities to look after myself and survive on this island.
The sun's going down. I need bedding.
A bit more like this and I'm going to have a cosy night. Eaten over half the coconut. Should we be switching into night vision mode yet? That's not bad. I'm using the infrared as a torch. If you've got a camera and it's got infrared on it, then why not, after dark, use it as a torch? I'm not stupid. It does feel warmer. Okay, I'm in. I will see you in the morning on day 2.
I get to grips with the island's wildlife.
There's a little gecko.
But the wildlife bites back. I'm Ed Stafford, and I'm marooned in the Pacific Ocean with no food, water, clothes, or tools. I want to see if I can survive alone for 60 days. Olarua, part of the Forbidden Islands, is remote and uninhabited. I've just spent my first night in a cave on its western shore.
It's really cold. I'm just thinking, just put some clothes on. I haven't got any.
Daytime temperatures can reach 30 degrees. So while clothes will be good, more pressing is fresh water and food.
there's loads of snails. I can eat those. I think I can eat these raw as well, which is a good thing.
As long as these don't make me sick, I found myself a good protein meal for breakfast. Excellent.
Very well.
I need about 3,000 calories a day, so these snails will barely sustain me.
That's fine. I've not eaten raw snails before, although I've got an abundance of them. They're going to be here every day. I can collect them every day. Let's just see how my body reacts to two first.
The snails are a start, but I've got to get some fluids inside me.
Whoa, what's this? This is exciting. There's water flowing down there. And look at the bottom. That is fresh water. Yes! If I get a little wick into a pot, I can leave things like feeding all day long. It's just like leaving the tap running all day long. This is absolutely amazing. I can't believe I'm that happy about that much water. Right, can I get that bit of water out? Ah. Yeah, I can. Something tells me I should clean that bit out first, though.
A bit of protein and some fluids. I'm good for now. I've no contact with anyone, so I have to pick up fresh batteries and memory cards from a drop-off point on the eastern shore. On the way, I'll scout around for more resources.
Okay, this type of tree, if it's not beach hibiscus, is very similar. You can strip the bark off to make really, really tough cordage equivalent to strips off.
I can build a shelter or a raft with this, but right now, I need to protect my most important bits.
So I'm just going to grasp and then the strands of the beach hibiscus going down.
In the fierce midday sun, burn time is less than 10 minutes.
That's ridiculous, eh? That'll do.
I carry on, sticking to the shoreline, checking for any washed-up junk I can use.
There's quite a lot of plastic bottles. They've all got their tops on, because the ones that float to islands have got air inside them. Flip-flop. That's good.
Here is a bottle with a straw in it. That straw is so valuable for me.
This is definitely a bigger little box. Okay, this is just a swap around of used stuff and dead batteries to fresh CF cards and fresh batteries.
It takes less than an hour to do a circuit of the island. That's a perimeter of about 3 kilometres.
I've now got my bearings.
When I return, there's about 500 mils of water. Roughly a fifth of my daily needs.
It's clean. That's brilliant. It's fresh.
To keep warm tonight, I'm collecting some palm fronds.
We have here, you see that? There's a little gecko. And I know that I can eat geckos. And I've not had any meat so far. And this is a reptile. So let's bang it on the head in a way that's a little bit humane. If I squeeze it from the tummy down, hopefully get any excrement out of it. Right. Still twitching a bit, but don't worry, it's dead. That's just nerves. Do I need to gut something of this size before I eat it, or can I just eat that whole?
Without a fire, eating any raw meat or fish is a risk.
Little fish you can just eat, or they eat whole, you don't have to gut them because they're so small. So, nice. And its tail was just waggling on the floor in front of me. That was quite revolting. But that's a good amount of protein. Might as well eat the tail as well. Actually, not as bad as I thought.
A few snails, a gecko, and some coconut is not enough calories for the day.
I don't know if it's a healthy thing to eat a gecko. If something tastes sharp or bitter, it can be very, very dangerous. You know, he can get really, really sick. He can die.
Having no survival tools is a massive challenge. To master this island, I need to improvise.
I need to get a clamshell to cut this tree down.
Coconuts are really valuable, but they're hard to reach. It's only day 2, and I've used up most of the low-hanging ones.
Okay, full stick. A knife would make my life so much easier. But I don't have a knife. I have a very blunt clamshell at the moment, which is doing a sterling job. Perfect. I'm exhausted.
Lack of food and water is already taking its toll. Even simple tasks are draining my energy.
I'm going through these snails. Didn't do me any harm at all. There's no hunting, you just go and pick them up. I think I'm stupid if I don't have a full meal of snails tonight.
A big bowl of snails. I'm inching forward towards my daily intake.
When you've got nothing, absolutely nothing, your whole day seems to be spent up maintaining status quo. I'm going to have to set myself such small goals to achieve each day to keep myself going.
But just keeping going is about to get really tough.
One second, go.
I've got a cave, basic food, and a couple of water sources. But I'm still not getting enough liquids. Mild dehydration affects energy. Anything more is a killer. The clamshells on the beach may help me.
Okay. Well, that's got to be the most simple rain collection method ever. Just took 10 minutes. Not rocket science.
I've got another plan for maximising my water. Using washed up rope, I can siphon straight into a plastic bottle.
At least now I've made a basic water collection system.
The island is covered in forest. So far, I've stuck to the shoreline. I'm going to explore inland.
Obviously, I haven't got a clue really where I'm going. Definite food. Meat, proper meat.
Feral goats. Meat. Rich in iron. I'm determined to hunt, kill, and eat one. But I'll need weapons, and most important, fire. After another 20 minutes, I reach the highest point on the west coast.
Wow, that's phenomenal. You can see the reef going all the way around. That's amazing. That sure is high. That's my beach down there. It's still little by little, isn't it? You know, I've got through today eating 30 snails. It's all well and good being naively romantic about, oh, I just want to live next to nature. If you really live next to nature, i.e. if you haven't got anything, caveman style, says me, in my cave, it's really hard work. It's really hard work.
First job is to check my new water collection system.
Just looked at the bottle there and I thought, oh, it's not worked. Couldn't see a level. Couldn't see a level because it's completely full. Brilliant.
That's half a litre.
That's a good start to the day. Yes.
Food, shelter, and water sorted. Next on the list, fire.
I need to try and find a bit of wood for a bow to make a bow drill. I need a branch with a V in it that's curved.
The Aboriginal Australians have shown me how they make fire by friction. But you need the right sort of wood and technique.
Quite bow shaped. Enough anyway.
The bow is used to rotate the stick or the drill quicker in a hearth to create a glowing ember.
It's on this one bow. So I have three parts to my fire drill. So if I have the bow, which is over there, I have the drill, I have the bit that goes on top of the drill. But what I need now is a hearth. Can't tell you how long it took to get over that initial feeling of panic being dropped off here. Nothing could have prepared me for that moment when I suddenly realised I'm on my own. Ah! They're actually really good. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. I could cry. That's so pathetic. I could cry. That worked. I really am on the verge of tears. That fucking worked.
He's undergoing a lot of stress and trauma and emotional pain, and that's starting to come out now. So he's crying for a number of reasons, not just because he's happy that he just broke this stick in half.
The survival experience is like life on steroids with ups and downs, but incredible peaks and incredible valleys.
I've got to channel my emotions and press on.
Cash cordage for using in the bow job. Yeah. Fireplace.
Making a fire alone is tough. I can't find the right wood, and I'm not sure which technique will work best.
See that smoking? From what I know, I would say that powder is too light. The wood's too soft. I don't think that's a win. I don't think we can have fire tonight.
In the morning, there's more bad news at my water seat.
You can see all the waste of water down the rock face.
The wick's not working. There's less than 100 mils in there.
It's not a very welcome start to the day.
Water is becoming a huge problem.
I'm quite angry that that only water source is so small. I'm so dehydrated. Coconuts are my most valuable source of food and water at the moment.
The coconuts on the lower trees are running out.
The only solution to my coconut problem and obviously the water situation is to get a longer stick. Gotta find a 7-metre pole.
It takes 40 minutes to chop it down with my clamshell.
Yes!
That's okay, but it's not enough. I need a minimum of 3 litres per day to survive. Lack of water causes lethargy and impaired judgment. I need to keep my wits about me.
Breaking even is hard. Really, really hard.
It's only day 6, and I feel this island is getting the better of me. A fire will change that, but I can't find the right wood to make an ember. And the bow keeps breaking, so I'm trying some washed up rope.
Too much friction on the shell. Don't think the shell's right. But I've got a bow that works, which is a very big step. Bow drill method is a lot easier than hand drill method. Takes a lot less energy. This is a massive, massive project to do well. It isn't easy. And yes, I suppose I did underestimate it, but do you know how long it takes to cut down one tree with a bit of clamshell? I'm annoyed that I can't find the trees that they told me they could light fires with here. I think that the things that I planned to do may happen later. I think it might take me a couple of weeks to get properly established.
The need for fire is driving me on, but I'm dehydrated. I know I can't survive for more than a couple of days without fluids. If things don't improve within the next 24 hours, my survival experiment will be under threat.
I need a couple more coconuts just to function. Don't know whether it's a combination of the energy in the coconuts that I'm lacking or the slight reduction in water, but I'm seriously fatigued and apathetic. I need to find more coconuts.
I've never felt so desperate.
Eating raw snails every day would undoubtedly be one of the causes for Ed's illness on the island. In extreme cases, if you lose a lot of water and that's accompanied by loss of salt, you can fall into a coma and die because your brain starts swelling.
I couldn't eat supper when I got back here. I felt sick. I felt very, very, very weak. And nauseous. I need water, I need water, I need water, I need water. This is stupid.
This is serious. Being sick is losing me precious fluids I can't replace. I need to keep positive and keep looking for other water sources. No water, but a precious find amongst the island's washed up rubbish.
I've got a long sleeve top to put on. That's amazing.
I'm not the only one who's on a desperate search for water.
Needless to say, goats have been here and they've knocked over the water. In search of water themselves, probably. This one had the lid on it gratefully. Goes without saying, doesn't it? The last thing I needed is to come back from a camp dehydrated. Again, not the best news, really. You need to slow down. I'm going to the peak. Just absolutely exhausted. The end of my tether. Water needs to come soon.
Nothing.
1 second ago. I can't tell you how fucking exhausted I am and how I just want to go to sleep and I don't care. I need to get to a stage where I'm drinking enough fluid and I'm eating enough food.
I'm really worried I'm not achieving any of my goals. My energy is rock bottom. Illness could put an end to this project. My emergency pack contains a medical kit. I'm seriously thinking about opening it.
I'm so cold. The bollock keeps me with carbs down and stuff. Horrible. Oh my god, I feel horrendous. Why is everything I eat slippery? Should I have that first course of antibiotics? Maybe I should. I don't care about breaking open a kit anymore.
I've been so ill, I've had to break into the emergency medical kit. I've taken some antibiotics, but weakened by illness and dehydration, I'm still struggling to stick to my survival plan, and I'm only 11 days in. Although, there is some good news on the horizon. Rain.
That's a pretty special moment. 2 full litres of fresh water.
Drinking freely. Drinking freely, Edward. With some fluids inside me, I'm going to crack on. Try and get the plan back on track. I'm heading inland.
This leaf here is the leaf of a taro plant. Taros have a nice big bulbous root on them that you can eat.
And they're a great source of carbohydrate, which will help boost my energy levels.
So potato. I've got 4 potato-sized root vegetables. Can't tell you how good that is.
I haven't got far yet, but I've got a plan.
This rusty lid is most definitely the sharpest blade I've got. I was just wondering if I could chip these and then leave them in the sun.
A couple of hours later, I go back to try my sun-dried taro crisps.
And they're crunchy and edible and slightly salted, not surprising because they're washed in seawater. But they're really alright. So I've got a way of cooking my carbohydrate without a fire. That's brilliant. Do you know what? I needed something like that today. I needed something to go right. Well, it's the difference between having a packet of crisps and eating a potato straight out of the ground. You wouldn't eat a potato straight out of the ground. I'm happy with that, really happy with that.
The antibiotics have kicked in, and the carbs are a great boost, but the need for protein is constant.
I'm going to see if I can just invert the top bit of this bottle so that I can put it inside this so fish can swim in and less fish can swim out. So you've got the bottle top going, the top half of the bottle going inversely into the bottom half.
I'm going to use snails as bait.
Pop it in here. Put it in the deepest part. Put a rock on it. See what happens, eh?
If this works, I'll have a new source of protein. A few hours later, I check the trap.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's amazing. I've got loads. 7 or 8. It's proper protein, isn't it? They're not really fish. They're loaches. You know, the things that you buy for fish tanks that clean the gravel at the bottom. They're a bit ugly and eat shit. Woohoo! That's my first attempt at fishing, and it worked. That end slice, it's just meat on both sides. At least it's something I can masticate without vomiting. It's progress. Don't laugh at me.
It is progress, but with all this raw food, there's a constant risk of infection. I need fire, fast.
I would say undeniably one of the hardest things is that, you know, you might spend all morning whittling this. It's the wrong wood. It's a bizarre feeling, spending so much time on something that might just not work at all. That seems to be the story of my life at the moment. Better crack on then. This has taken about 4 hours so far. This is not... I would give anything for a Swiss Army knife. Fire will mean so much to me. I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it.
First thing in the morning, I test out the latest version of my bow drill.
That's good, loads of smoke coming off it. I might even have an ember here. Lo and behold, I have. Let's make that into fire now. We've got fire. Woohoo, we've got fire. We've got fire. Yes! Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Suddenly, life can become civilized. Needless to say, this is one of the best days of my life. I am so, so happy. We've got fire, we've got fire, we've got warmth at night. We've got cooked food. Yes! Yes, 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 yes. I'm going to start construction of a house. Just have no energy at all.
The loneliness is going to start kicking in, and this is where things can get dangerous, and this would be his real hurdle.
Every bit of me wants company.